Request everyone to please stand and remain standing till the dignitaries take their seats.
Please.
I request the gathering to please be seated. Look at every crisis as an opportunity not to profiteer but to serve. A very good afternoon to everyone present over here. I am Ms. Preetam Bagwe, doctoral student at the Department of Pharmaceutical Sciences and Technology in ICT Mumbai. I take immense pleasure to welcome you all to the interim session of the 12th Convocation. We all have gathered here with great enthusiasm to celebrate the achievements that each one of you deserve. I wish you all the very best as you embark upon an exciting journey into an untapped future. We shall now commence the convocation ceremony with National Anthem to be led by Shri Parth Vaidya, Shri Uddhav Gokarna, and Kumari Shrishti Singh from the Music Club Technological Association ICT Mumbai. I request everyone to please stand.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता। पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंगा। विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्छल जलधि तरंगा। तव शुभ नामे जागे तब शुभ आशीष मागे। गाहे तब जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता। जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे।
We shall now have our institutional prayer, institutional song, Shri Rasayana Devi Ke.
Vidyapeeth Geet, which was composed by Professor G.D. Yadav of the Institute of Chemical Technology, Mumbai, on 27th Feb 2012, the Marathi Bhasha Din.
The goddess Rasayan Devika is a symbiosis of the basic concept, and the
I
words have
request
been
all the
chosen
students
so
to
as
please
to depict
stand.
that ICT will add to the beauty and charm of the mother nature.
The song was equally composed and sung by ICT students Jitendra Tongaonkar, Ashwini Tilak, Swanand Gangal, Prasad Surve, Sharad Darandale, Aditya Koli, Amrita Bhavne, Rohini Tangsale, Nupur Rathi, and Zui Raut.
घोष तुझा जय घोष तुझा
Music Club, Technological Association, ICT Mumbai. Let us now welcome the dignitaries. Our chief guest for today's function is Shri Nadir Godrej, Chairman, Godrej Group. I request Kumari Revati to please present him a bouquet. I request Kumari Anushka to present Honorable Chancellor Padma Vibhushan Dr. R.A. Mashelkar a bouquet. I request Kumari Prachi to present Honorable Vice Chancellor Professor A.B. Pandit a bouquet. I request Kumari Snehal to present Honorable Dean Academic Program Professor S.S. Bhagwat a bouquet. I request Kumari Maithili Mishra to present Honorable Registrar Professor R.R. Deshmukh a bouquet. I request Kumari Yuga Raut to present Honorable Controller of Examination Professor Parag Gokte a bouquet. Light and brightness has always been equated with positivity, and motivation is seen as the harbinger of good. To start us off an auspicious start, we shall now have the lamp lighting ceremony. I request Honorable Chief Guest, Chancellor, Vice Chancellor, Dean Academic Program, Registrar, Controller of Examination, sir, to please do the honors. I now request the General Secretary of Technological Association, ICT Mumbai, Shri Prathamesh Patil, to welcome the audience.
Good afternoon to one and all present today. I, Prathamesh Patil, General Secretary, Technological Association, and am extremely privileged to have the opportunity to welcome you all on this auspicious occasion of the 12th Convocation Interim Session of Institute of Chemical Technology, Mumbai. I would like to welcome our Chief Guest, Shri Nadir Godrej, Chairman, Godrej Group, Honorable Chancellor, Padma Vibhushan, Dr. R.A. Mashelkar, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor A.B. Pandit, Registrar, Professor R.R. Deshmukh, Dean Academic Programs, Professor S.S. Bhagwat, Controller of Examination, Professor P.R. Gokte, all Board of Governors, Directors of off-campuses, Deans and Head of Departments, faculties and staff members, and all graduating and non-graduating students to the occasion. Thank you.
Thank you, Prathamesh, for the warm welcome. I now invite Dean Academic Program for further proceedings. I also request Honorable Vice Chancellor to invite the Chancellor to declare the convocation open.
Good evening. Honorable Chancellor, may I request Your Honor to declare the convocation open?
I declare the convocation open.
I request students of Bachelor of Chemical Engineering, Bachelor of Technology and Bachelor of Pharmacy shall stand at his or her place and raise hands. Honorable Chancellor, pursuant to the recommendation of the Academic Council to confer the bachelor's degrees, I present to you 241 candidates who have been examined duly and found qualified for the bachelor's degrees BChem Eng, BTech and BPharm. I pray that these candidates may be admitted to the respective degrees. On behalf of those who have been permitted to receive the degrees in absentia, I pray that they also be admitted thereto.
Today, on the 10th day of August of 2022, on the occasion of 12th Convocation of the Institute of Chemical Technology, Mumbai, in my capacity as the Chancellor of this institute, I hereby grant the request made by the Dean Academic Programs and request the Vice Chancellor to confer upon the candidates the bachelor's degrees BChem Eng, BTech, BPharm on 241 candidates in person and in absentia.
Thank you, sir. Students may please take their seat. Sir, let me call upon Professor V.K. Rathod, Head of the Department of Chemical Engineering, to present the Bachelor of Chemical Engineering candidates. Professor V.K. Rathod, please.
I, Professor V.K. Rathod, Head of the Department of Chemical Engineering, will call the Bachelor of Chemical Engineering candidates. Rajas Milind Mendale, son of Milind and Sonia. He is a gold medalist. Varun Raina, son of Satish and Sweti. Varun Raina. Shruti Anand Chaudhary, daughter of Anand and Aarti. Krushali Rajendra Varude, daughter of Rajendra and Deepa. Shekhar Ganpat Shinde, son of Ganpata and Vaishali. Vaishnavi Rajendra Bhalekar, daughter of Rajendra and Shubhda. Aditya Rajesh Geda, son of Rajesh and Mamta. Aniruddha Pinjari, son of Dhundiram and Rekha. Akanksha Chaugule, daughter of Sanjay and Mangal.
Next.
Akanksha Chaugule, Soloni Varunkar, daughter of Surendra and Madhvi, Aditya Mahavir Patil, son of Mahavir and Deepa, Anuj Parkate, son of Pundlik and Dhanashri, Tanay Zavdekar, son of Ashish and Mugdha, Monil Shah, son of Manish and Sonali, Neha Sangle, daughter of Madhukar and Lata, Siddharth Mangesh Pitare, son of Mangesh and Minal, Subhalakshmi Swain, daughter of Dilip and Rasmita, Mayur Kulmate, son of Devendra and Manjusha, Prajwal Sambhalkar, son of Shilkumar and Meena, Advay Shirwalkar, son of Navola and Vanita, Mir Dakka Pagari, son of Srinivas and Rohita Banu, Gayatri Chikarmane, daughter of Chinmay and Kavita, Yash Subhash Butale, son of Subhash and Vaishali, Anushka Manoj Kodke, daughter of Manoj and Kiran, Sailip Paura, daughter of Chandra Singh and Sangeeta, Saad Jamal, son of Jamal and Iram, Akanksha Gubbala, daughter of Bala Murali and Rama Devi, Durvesh Eknath Parab, son of Eknath and Rashmi, Diksha Sunil Raut, daughter of Sunil and Sunanda, Shruti Sanjay Rao Kadam, daughter of Sajay Rao and Sushma, Abhishek Awad, son of Devendra and Swapnali, Neil Greg Dias, son of Greg and Josie, Aniket Mari, son of Rajendra and Priya, Kushagra Divedi, son of Manoj and Amita, Dhaval Dande, son of Divakar and Kirti, Venkatesh Nageshpuri, son of Nagesh and Gangabai, Hare Krishnan R. Nambutri, son of Rajesh and Gauri Krishna, Krishna Jakotia, son of Gopal and Kavita. Sonti Siddharth, son of Nageshwar Rao and Kavita. Amay Amol Survanshi, son of Amol and Dhanashri. Harshali Shardul, daughter of Valmik and Rekha. Mayank Kumrawat, son of Mukesh and Vinita. Jayesh Sorogi, son of Chandra and Anju. Atharva Tiwari, son of Hemendra and Shilpa. Omkar Sambhaji Tubhe, son of Sambhaji and Anita. Anmol Rati, son of Ajay and Ruchi. Bhavya Jain, son of Anurag and Mamta. Tejas Abhenkar, son of Srinivas and Manisha. Aditya Nayak, son of Namdev and Rima. Shubham Mari, son of Maruti and Pramila. Nageshwaran Hemadri, son of Praveen and Shruti. Dharam Parwani, son of Dilip and Shobna. Snehal Bhalekar, daughter of Sakaram and Rohini. Minal Raulani, daughter of Bharat and Sunita. Amay Santosh Murudkar, son of Santosh and Trupti. Atharva Sonone, son of Shailesh and Shilpa. Varun Inamdar, son of Rohit and Sampada. Aniket Jayendra Urmunkar, son of Jayendra and Kalpana. And in absentia, Suraj Bhagwat Shinde, son of Bhagwat and Shobna. Arun Sadatra, son of Bishan and Nirmala. Shikhar Dinesh Singh, son of Dinesh and Sadhna. Tanmay Nitin Kotawade, son of Nitin and Vaishali. Tanvi Varadkar, daughter of Swapnil and Anjali. Krishna Pandey, son of Harsha Bhushan and Pratima. Geet Cheda, son of Arun and Asha. Tanvi Apte, daughter of Mahendra and Madhvi. Durgeshwari Shinde, daughter of Rajendra and Kalpana. Rushad Domasiya, son of Memosh and Kalnats. Srinivas Acharya, son of Anand and Pawan. Naresh Dhanwani, son of Kulachan and Geeta. Bharat Prasad, son of Shri Prasad and Anupama. Shantanu Kadam, son of Uttam and Lakshmibai. Aryan Rajdan, son of Ashutosh and Meenakshi. Abhinav Patil, son of Umesh and Josna. Ramakrishna Yas, son of K and KS. Akshayu Ambatkar, daughter of Pramod and Madhuri. Akash Dilip Pawar, son of Dilip and Nirmala. Yash Bhatakke, son of Anil and Vaishali. Aditya Ratnagopal, son of Rajkumar and Sunita. Anudda Jain, son of Rajesh and Ritu. Kanish Mayer, son of Sanjay Anita. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Rathod. Sir, let me call upon Professor S.V. Joshi, Head of the Department of Pharmaceutical Sciences and Technology, to present the Bachelor of Pharmacy candidates. Professor S.V. Joshi, please.
I, Professor Srirang V. Joshi, Head of Department of Pharmaceutical Sciences and Technology, would call the Bachelor of Pharmacy candidates. Urmi Chile, daughter of Uday and Deepali, she is the gold medalist. Dharmesh Devre, son of Rao Sahib Madhuri. Aniruddha Chaudhary, son of Pramod Gayal. Abbas Javdawala, son of Ali Sagar Tansmeen. Arnav Joshi, son of Ajinkya Aditi. Akash Hariya, son of Bipin Chandra Darshana. Swarali Paranspe, daughter of Mukund Rashmi. Tushar Kale, son of Gajanan Rajani. Ashutosh Uttarwar, son of Manish Neeta. Rohit Joshi, son of Shailesh Deepali. Jash Shah, son of Keyur Varsha. Yash Kothari, son of Harshad Rakhi. Mrunal Suryavanshi, daughter of Vinayak Beena. Chaitanya Devkar, son of Gajanan Swati. Jnaneshwar Surushe, son of Bhaskar Suman. Neha Dikshit, daughter of Jitendra Vaishali. Following students will receive their degrees in absentia. Yashasri Chauhan, daughter of Rajendra Jaya. Ragini Safaya, daughter of Shiban Vijay. Ajit Singh Rajput, son of Sanjay Rekha. Vaishnavi Khedekar, daughter of Vivek Amruta. Akshay Kumar, son of Shailendra Anju. Sakshi Khairnar, daughter of Vikas Sonali. Shreya Karande, daughter of Kiran Sarojini. Nupur Kale, daughter of Chintamani Rupali. Aparna Bhagat, daughter of Mangal Meena. Mihika Yavlekar, daughter of Rajendra Manushri. And Tanmay Yavle, son of Ganesh and Sheila.
Thank you, Professor Joshi. Sir, let me call upon Professor S.V. Joshi again, Head of the Department of Pharmaceutical Sciences and Technology, to present the Bachelor of Technology in Pharmaceutical Chemistry and Technology candidates. Professor S.V. Joshi, please.
I, Professor Srirang V. Joshi, Head of Department of Pharmaceutical Sciences and Technology, would call the Bachelor of Technology in Pharmaceutical Chemistry and Technology candidates. Ashvi Jain, daughter of Sanjay Kunjal, she is the gold medalist. Pramod Salgar, son of Madhukar Sheela. Vedant Shiturkar, son of Praveen Purva. Akshay Parab, son of Rajendra Swati. Aniruddha Marathe, son of Chandrasekhar Sujata. Atharva Pednekar, son of Sham Shambhavi. Harsh Anchan, son of Hemant Babita. Ruday Shah, son of Manish Manita. Aditya Mote, son of Madhav Jayashri. Niti Kakkad, daughter of Manish Ekta. Preeta Pagare, daughter of Nitin Jyoti. Shraddha Kale, daughter of Rajesh and Rupali. Following students will receive their degrees in absentia. Atharva Kulkarni, son of Samir Gayatri. Aditya Thakre, son of Lahu Kalpana. Gayatri Iyer, daughter of Krishnan Ramajanki. Pranita Pawar, daughter of Subhash Rohini.
Thank you, Professor Joshi. Sir, let me call upon Professor N. Shekhar, Head of the Department of Specialty Chemicals and Technology, to present the Bachelor of Technology in Dyestuff Technology candidates. Professor N. Shekhar, please.
I, Professor N. Shekhar, Head of the Department of Specialty Chemicals Technology, would call the Bachelor of Technology in Dyestuff Technology candidates. Riya Pratik Patkeshwar, she is a gold medalist. Abhishek Nilesh Mutyan, son of Nilesh and Smita. Alan Ignatius Elbert Matthias, son of Elbert and Sushila. Arpreet Achyut Nandwate, son of Achyut and Varsha. Drumil Vikaria, son of Narendra and Meena. Divyaksha Agnihotri, son of Tushar and Priya. Harshit Sorde, son of Rajneesh and Chandrakala. Prabhat Shanwar, son of Nishikant and Nanda. Pranjali Tambe, daughter of Prakash and Sarita. Rohit Kulkarni, son of Krishna and Subhada. Ruchira Iyer, daughter of Deepak and Jyoti. Sai Sanjeev Nehate, daughter of Sanjeev and Swati. Saurabh Suryakant Pawar, son of Suryakant and Anita. Shaunak Badamikar, son of Rishikesh and Amrita. Shruti Verma, daughter of Surendra and Sarita. Shubham Vankede, son of Bhojraj and Karuna. Shubhankar Khandagale, son of Sanjay and Swar Malata. Aniket Anand Gaikwad, son of Anand and Kajal. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Shekhar. Sir, let me call upon Professor R.D. Kale, Head of the Department of Fibers and Textile Processing Technology, to present the Bachelor of Technology candidates in Fibers and Textile Processing Technology. Professor R.D. Kale, please.
I, Professor R.D. Kade, Head of the Department of Fiber and Textile Processing Technology, would call the Bachelor of Technology in Fibers and Textile Processing Technology candidates Simran Acharekar, who is a gold medalist, daughter of Yogesh and Sonali. Shubham Sonaune, son of Kiran and Pratibha. Ashutosh Borkute, son of Ganesh and Swati. Neelam Chauhan, daughter of Vinay and Urmila. Siddhant Rangari, son of Digambar and Sunita. Yukti Bharde, daughter of Shailendra and Vaishali. Yash Doshi, son of Hemant and Anjali. Sharan Shetty, son of Uday and Ramya. Samiksha Udan, daughter of Pramod and Varsha. Sakshi Thote, daughter of Niranjan and Neha. Sahil Mudliyar, son of Satish and Karpagam. Sahil Guge, son of Sanjeev and Shama. Ruchi Thakur, daughter of Rajesh and Rashmi. Princey Day, daughter of Ranjit and Pranita. Kartik Sinha, son of Chandrasekhar and Rama. Jaishankar Ingole, son of Samba and Ushatai. Ishika Deshmukh, daughter of Arun and Bharti. Hardik Badange, son of Gajendra and Anita. Jnaneshwar Shinde, son of Ganpat and Jayashri. Bhairavi Ekbote, daughter of Rajesh and Medha. Good afternoon. Akruti Mohanty, daughter of Sanjay and Mona Lisa. Ashutosh Sonje, son of Vijay and Vidya. Rushabh Bothara, son of Prasmal and Nita. Rohan Medpalwar, son of Ramesh and Vijay Lakshmi. Sneha Bhugade, daughter of Sunil and Sunanda. Okay, following students will receive the degree in absentia. Renuka Bhavar, daughter of Ramesh and Savita. Harshul Boir, son of Jagdish and Pramila. Gargi Dandegaukar, daughter of Sunil and Manjiri. Damini Sondkar, daughter of Santosh and Sangeeta. Amisha Gundalekar, daughter of Rajesh and Bharti. Kshitij Itkare, son of Rajendra and Pratima.
Thank you, Professor Kale. Sir, I invite Professor U.S. Annapure, Director, Marathwada Jalna Campus and former head of the Department of Food Engineering and Technology, to present the Bachelor of Technology in Food Engineering and Technology candidates. Professor U.S. Annapure, please.
I, Professor U.S. Annapure, on behalf of Head of the Department of Food Engineering and Technology, would call the Bachelor of Food Technology in Food, Bachelor of Food Engineering and Technology candidates. Harshal Sunil Bote, son of Sunil and Sharda, gold medalist. He will be receiving his degree in absentia. Nirav Yogesh Vargantwar, son of Yogesh and Madhvi. Amay Dagde, son of Jitendra and Rashmi. Ankur Upadhyay, son of Vijay Kumar and Sudha. Anushka Avsare, daughter of Arun and Ashwini. Anupama Lokhande, daughter of Ashok and Manisha. Aviraj Raju Patole, son of Raju and Vaishali. Ritik Prashant Sonone, son of Prashant and Rupali. Lipakshi Sapaya, daughter of Virji and Muni. Nimai Krishna Agrawal, son of Deepak and Nidhi. Rucha Rane, daughter of Rajesh and Purva. Samira Kazi, daughter of Farooq and Yasmin. Soumya Mohan, daughter of Mohan and Lakshmi. Tanvi Vijay Bapat, daughter of Vinay and Trupti. Vaibhav Vishwanath, son of Vishwanath and Uma. Following students will receive degree in absentia: Sania Tadvi, Purvaja Dodke, Vipalva Wagmare, and Sarvesh Toshniwal.
Thank you, Professor Annapure. Sir, let me call upon Professor Amit Pratap, Head of the Department of Oils, Oleochemicals and Surfactants Technology, to present the Bachelor of Technology in Oils, Oleochemicals and Surfactant Technology candidates. Professor Amit Pratap, please.
I, Professor Amit Pratap, Head of the Department of Oils, Oleochemicals and Surfactants Technology, would call the Bachelor of Technology in Oils, Oleochemicals and Surfactants Technology candidates. Devar Shah, son of Gaurang and Hemangiri, he is gold medalist. Pranay Pramod Deshmukh, son of Pramod and Sunita. Aishwarya Sanjay Samane, daughter of Sanjay and Bharti. Chahat Vashodia, son of Rajinder and Parveen. Chinmay Ashwin Khatri, son of Ashwin and Bindu. Harsh Wadhwani, son of Murli and Bhavna. Jagannath Banwalikar, son of Sundar and Trupti. Kalpesh Dhanraj Barde, son of Dhanraj and Kalpana. Mukesh Suklal Badane, son of Suklal and Ranjana. Nilavro Pal, son of Suranjana and Aarti. Om Jatkar, son of Jeevan and Yashoda. Riddesh Patil, son of Prakash and Sunita. Rutuja Rizbud, daughter of Sachin and Megha. Sai Ravikiran Tedekar, daughter of Ravikiran and Kalpana. Kushang Varude, son of Deepak and Vidya. And following students will receive the degrees in absentia: Riddhi Gangadhar Kale and Varun Walke.
Thank you, Professor Pratap. Sir, let me call upon Professor S.T. Maske, Head of the Department of Polymer and Surface Engineering, to present the Bachelor of Technology in Polymer Engineering and Technology candidates. Professor S.T. Maske, please.
I, Professor S.T. Maske, Head of the Department of Polymer and Surface Engineering, would call the Bachelor of Technology in Polymer Engineering and Technology candidates. Gurpreet Braj, She is a gold medalist, daughter of Avinash and Aarti. Varad Rajgaon, son of Nitin and Lakshmi. Amit Khobragade, son of Arvind and Vaishali. Ankita Mahajan, daughter of Ravindra and Sharda. Anshuman Shaw, son of Ashok and Asha. Archita Agarwal, daughter of Arvind and Sweta. Hazel Dhruv, daughter of Pankaj and Minal. Kiran Gowri, son of Sunil and Radha. Prakriti Patnaik, daughter of Vibhash and Nibita. Rituban Ghosh, son of Biplav and Shritama. Soumya Saxena, daughter of Nivedu and Bharti. Vedant Gaikwad, son of Nitin and Kalpana. And in absentia, Hardik Mahajan, son of Kuldeep and Sunita, Rishikesh Pabale, son of Mahesh and Sneha, Perrine Zaveri, son of Hetal and Rupal, Shubham Utekar, son of Pradeep and Pratibha.
Thank you, Professor Maske. Please wait. Sir, let me call upon Professor S.T. Maske, Head of the Department of Polymer and Surface Engineering, to present the Bachelor of Technology in Surface Coating Technology candidates. Professor S.T. Maske, please.
I, Professor S.T. Maske, Head of the Department of Polymer and Surface Engineering, would call the Bachelor of Technology in Surface Coating Technology candidates. Malav Sangvi, he is a gold medalist, son of Rajesh and Nishi. Devina Chakravarti, daughter of Devashish and Tapa. Akanksha Chauhan, daughter of Srinivas and Sushma. Atharva Admane, son of Chandrasekhar and Swati. Mitesh Patil, son of Jagdish and Zuili. Neil Ishwaran, son of Ishwaran and Kala. Onkar Tambare, son of Harishchandra and Vijayamala. Prashil Shah, son of Bhavesh and Sweta. Rajiv Sonone, son of Prakash and Sangeeta. Simran Zadav, daughter of Manik and Sadhna. Swapnil Gulve, son of Vijay Kumar and Pratibha. Swapnil Vaidya, son of Madan and Neha. And in absentia, Himanshu Patil, son of Anil and Manisha, Arslan Pasha, son of Gauss and Ghazla Shaheen, Prajwal Thakre, son of Sharad and Vandana.
Thank you, Professor Maske. I request the candidates of Master of Chemical Engineering, Masters of Technology, Master of Pharmacy, Master of Engineering, and Master of Science shall stand at his or her place and raise hands. Honorable Chancellor, pursuant to the recommendation of the Academic Council to confer the master's degrees, I present to you 127 candidates who have been examined duly and found qualified for the master's degree in science and technology, MChem Eng, MTech, MPharm, ME and MSc. I pray that these candidates may be admitted to the respective degrees. On behalf of those who have been permitted to receive their degrees in absentia, I pray that they also be admitted thereto.
Today, on 10th day of August of 2022, on the occasion of 12th Convocation of the Institute of Chemical Technology, in my capacity as the Chancellor of this institute, I hereby grant the request made by the Dean Academic Programs and request the Vice Chancellor to confer upon the candidates the master's degree, MChem Eng, MTech, MPharm, ME and MSc on 127 candidates in person and in absentia.
Thank you, sir. The students may please take their seats. Sir, let me call upon Professor V.K. Rathod, Head of the Department of Chemical Engineering, to present the Master of Chemical Engineering candidates. Professor V.K. Rathod, please.
I, Professor V.K. Rathod, Head of the Department of Chemical Engineering, would like to call the Master of Chemical candidates. Dheeraj Sutar, son of Dhaneshwar and Vandana. Himanshu Jitendra Sankelecha, son of Jitendra and Kalpana. Purvi Walia, daughter of DP and Meena. Rahil Shah, son of Tapan and Kavita. Yes, Dheeraj, son of Sanjay and Geeta. And in absentia, Akash Ganpati Thakre, son of Ganpati and Geeta. Ankita Shriya, daughter of Ajay and Rinki. Dipanshu Kumar Gaur, son of Ranbir and Bimesh. Hatim Tabirwala Rangwala, son of Tahiral and Fatima. Yogesh Madhav Gote, son of Madhav and Chabutai. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Rathod. Sir, may I call upon Professor S.V. Joshi, Head of the Department of Pharmaceutical Sciences and Technology, to present the Master of Pharmacy, Pharmaceutics and Pharmaceutical Chemistry candidates. Professor S.V. Joshi, please.
I, Professor Srirang V. Joshi, Head of Department of Pharmaceutical Sciences and Technology, would call the Master of Pharmacy in Pharmaceutics, Pharmaceutical Chemistry candidates, Purnima Singh, daughter of Hemant Ratan, Yogesh Jagtap, son of Dada Saheb Chaya. M.Pharm Pharmaceutics candidates, Sakshi Pagar, daughter of Nitin Sneha. Vaibhav Gegde, son of Nana Bhau Vandana. Archana Kapse, daughter of Ashok and Jija, will receive the degree in absentia.
Thank you, Professor Joshi. Please wait. Sir, let me call upon Professor S.V. Joshi again, Head of the Department of Pharmaceutical Sciences and Technology, to present the Master of Technology in Pharmaceutical Technology candidates. Professor S.V. Joshi, please.
I, Professor Srirang V. Doshi, Head of Department of Pharmaceutical Sciences and Technology, would call the Master of Technology in Pharmaceutical Technology candidates, Supriya More, daughter of Ruparao Geeta, Chetan Palvi, son of Rama Anita, Manasi Shaha, daughter of Narendra Deepali, Priyanka Salunke, daughter of Dattatray Rajashri, Raju Mane, son of Pradeep Rukmini, Roshni Bhole, daughter of Jagdish Suhasini, Indranil Dhawale, son of Narendra Snehal, Sanjiri Shelar, daughter of Dilip Kamal, Sharmeen Tole, daughter of Altaf Naseem, Nikita Jadhav, daughter of Netaji Shamal, Pratap Sarode, son of Piraji Lakshmi, and Yogesh Thigde, son of Shivaji and Anita, will receive the degrees in absentia.
Thank you, Professor Joshi. Sir, let me call upon Dr. Prajakta Dandekar Jain, Course Coordinator of Pharmaceutical Biotechnology, to present the Master of Technology in Pharmaceutical Biotechnology candidates. Dr. Prajakta Dandekar Jain, please.
I, Dr. Prajakta Dandekar Jain, Course Coordinator of Pharmaceutical Biotechnology, would call the Master of Technology in Pharmaceutical Biotechnology candidates Prabhudatta Sahu, son of Jashobanta and Alisha, Arun Kumar, son of Ramjeet and Vimla, Ritu Kamble, daughter of Rajendra and Rekha.
Please note, do not leave the auditorium till the function is over. All the candidates receiving the degree will remain seated in their seat till the function is over. Nobody please leave the auditorium till the function is over. Sir, let me call upon Professor R.D. Kale, Head of the Department of Fibers and Textile Processing Technology, to present the Master of Technology in Fibers and Textile Processing Technology candidates. Professor R.D. Kale, please.
I, Professor R.D. Kale, Head of the Department of Fibers and Textile Processing Technology, would call the Master of Technology in Fibers and Textile Processing Technology candidates Kushal Lahoti, son of Sunil and Radha. Sahil Pathan, son of Afzal and Naseem. Following students will receive their degree in absentia. Himanshu Mehta.
Thank you, Mr. Kale. Please stay there. Sir, let me call upon Professor R.D. Kale again, Head of the Department of Fiber Science and Processing Technology, to present the Master of Science in Textile Chemistry candidates. Professor R.D. Kale, please.
I, Professor R.D. Kade, Head of the Department of Fibers and Textile Processing Technology, would call the Master of Science in Textile Chemistry candidates. Siddhi Palkar, daughter of Avinash and Ankita. Reni Borgoy, daughter of Mohim and Ranuma. Tanmay Patil, daughter of Nandakumar and Josna. Thamizuddin VK, son of VK and K. Ramlabai. Following students will receive their degree in absentia. Pallavi Surve, Aishwarya Nair and Raj Lakshmi Narade.
Thank you, Professor Kale. Sir, let me call upon Professor N. Shekhar, Head of the Department of Specialty Chemicals Technology, to present the Master of Technology in Dyestuff Technology candidates. Professor N. Shekhar, please.
I, Professor N. Shekhar, Head of the Department of Specialty Chemicals Technology, would call the Master of Technology in Dyestuff Technology candidates. Gauri Sanjay Ingole, daughter of Sanjay and Nilima. Monika Madhavrao Jadhav, daughter of Madhav and Ranjana. The following candidate will receive the degree in absentia. Mahesh Ajit Gore.
Thank you, Professor Shekhar. Sir, I invite Professor U.S. Annapure, Director of Marathwada Jalna Campus and former Head of the Department of Food Engineering and Technology, to present the Master of Technology in Food Engineering and Technology candidate. Professor U.S. Annapure, please.
I, Professor U.S. Annapure, on behalf of Head of the Department Food Engineering and Technology, would call the Master of Technology in Food Engineering and Technology candidates. Amaya Suku, daughter of Suku and Amelia. Ayan Bhattacharya, son of Asim and Kabori. Following students will receive their degree in absentia: Annapurna RP, Anirudh Moga, Arman Sheikh, and Shubham Savardekar.
Thank you. Professor Annapure, please be there. Sir, I invite Professor U.S. Annapure, Director of the Marathwada Jalna campus and former head of the Department of Food Engineering and Technology, to present the Master of Technology in Food Biotechnology candidates. Professor Annapure, please.
I, Professor U.S. Annapure, on behalf of Head of the Department of Food Engineering and Technology, would call the Master of Technology in Food Biotechnology. Sheetal Srigadiwar, daughter of Jayesh and Anaga, Srilekha K, daughter of Kumaraswamy and Puma Devi. Pratibha Prajapati, daughter of Vijay and Savitri. Astha Jaiswal, daughter of Ashok and Rinki.
Thank you, Professor Annapure. Sir, let me call upon Professor S.T. Maske. Inside to confirm the degree. Sir, let me call upon Professor S.T. Maske, Head of the Department of Polymer and Surface Engineering, to present the Master of Technology in Polymer Engineering and Technology candidate. Professor S.T. Maske, please.
I, Professor S.T. Maske, Head of the Department of Polymer and Surface Engineering, would call the Master of Technology in Polymer Engineering and Technology candidates. Gopi Pramanik, son of Madhu and Bhanu. Shweta Amritkar, daughter of Yashwant and Sunita. And in absentia, Dheeraj Kaikade, Harish Yadav, and Saurabh Sarkar.
Sir, let me call upon Professor S.T. Maske, Head Department of Polymer and Surface Engineering, to present the Master of Technology in Surface Coating Technology candidates. Professor S.T. Maske, please.
I, Professor S.T. Maske, Head of the Department of Polymer and Surface Engineering, would call the Master of Technology in Surface Coating Technology candidates. Mansi Patil, daughter of Pradeep and Sangeeta. Rohan Bobde, son of Ramesh and Kiran. Shubhi Soni, daughter of Sandeep and Pratibha.
Thank you, Professor Maske. Sir, let me call upon Professor G.S. Shankarling, Program Coordinator of Perfumery and Flavor Technology, to present the Master of Technology in Perfumery and Flavor Technology candidates. Professor G.S. Shankarling, please.
I, Professor Ganapati Shankarling, Course Coordinator of Perfumery and Flavor Technology, would call the Master of Technology in Perfumery and Flavor Technology candidate. Kalyani Machindra Kute, daughter of Machindra and Ranjana. Johanna Sam Matthew, daughter of Sam and Sibyl. Thank you.
Thank you. Sir, let me call upon Dr. R.D. Jain, Program Coordinator of the Bioprocess Technology, to present the Master of Technology in Bioprocess Technology candidates. Dr. Ratnesh Jain, please.
I, Dr. Ratnesh Jain, Course Coordinator of the Bioprocess Technology, would call the Masters of Technology in Bioprocess Technology candidates. Dhwani Gupta, daughter of Vinay and Savita. Durgesh Ramdas Wankhade, son of Ramdas and Nilima. Shivaji Vaban Mabad, son of Vaban and Sushila. And in absentia, K.M. Malka, daughter of Avinash and Sunita, Shashikant Doltade, son of Appa and Sitabai, Narum Baladevi, daughter of Tomba and Radhabai. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Jain. Sir, let me call upon Professor V.K. Rathod, Program Coordinator of the Green Technology, to present the Master of Technology in Green Technology candidates. Professor V.K. Rathod, please.
I, Professor V.K. Rathod, Course Coordinator of the Green Technology, will call the Master of Technology in Green Technology candidates. Karthik Satnur, son of Someshwar and Seema. Aishwarya Poman, daughter of Sunil and Maya. Ashish Bidkar, son of Bhujangrao and Gangasagar. Harbit Kumar Pandya, son of Narendra Bhai and Pravina Ben. Vinayak Maruti Kadam, son of Maruti and Latika. Rushali Uttam Sandhu, daughter of Uttam and Nitu. Raghav Sandeep Soni, son of Sandeep and Pratibha. And in absentia, Devanshi Mistry, daughter of Bipin and Rekha. Pritika Murugesan, daughter of L. Murugesan and M. Punita. Shruti Boyer, daughter of Raju and Nalini. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Rathod. Sir, let me call upon Professor V.R. Gawal, Head Department of General Engineering, to present the Master of Engineering in Plastic Engineering candidates. Professor V.R. Gawal, please.
I, Professor V.R. Gawal, Head of the Department of General Engineering, would call the Master of Engineering in Plastic Engineering candidates. Keur Suresh Bhai Wadalia, son of Suresh Bhai and Vilas Ben. And the following student will receive degree in absentia, Akash Valmik Mahajan.
Thank you, Professor Gawal. Sir, let me call upon Professor B.M. Banage, Head Department of Chemistry, to present the Master of Science in Chemistry candidates. Professor B.M. Banage, please. Audience, please congratulate the candidates. Once again, a reminder, nobody is supposed to leave the auditorium, please.
I, Professor B.M. Bhanige, Head of the Department of Chemistry, would call the Master of Science in Chemistry candidates Siddhesh Shashikant Shewade, gold medalist, son of Shashikant and Sushma. Abhijit Nankar, son of Rajendra and Asha. Ankita Rajendra Jangam, daughter of Rajendra and Sujata. Ankit Kumar Singh, son of Ram Nivas and Sanju. Anshika, daughter of Anil, Babita. Debendra Tibari, son of Leela Moy and Nandita. Dilshad Javed, daughter of MD and H. Ebin K. Baby, son of Baby and Lily Kutti. Jitesh, son of Kirpal and Poonam. Karishma Dinesh Thakur, daughter of Dinesh and Jyoti. Krishit Bhatia, son of Dinesh and Neelam. Padmakshi Kotoki, daughter of Nirod Meenakshi. Ridham Dani, son of Nirav and Shefali. S. Gauri Manohari, daughter of R. Satish K. N. Meera. Sachin Naneshwar Baviskar, son of Naneshwar and Swati. Shreyas Izawa Sunil, son of Sunil and Reshma. Shreya Ashwaghosh Shingade, daughter of Ashwaghosh Sadhana. Kadam Tejas Sunil, son of Sunil and Sheetal. Varsha Udage, daughter of Rajendra and Meera. Thakur Deepak Kumar, son of Vinod and Sushma. Varsha K.M., daughter of Prathipan and Bina. Pooja Goe, daughter of Sanjay and Kalpana. Anushka Alok Singh, daughter of Alok and Nisha. Following candidate will receive degree and in absentia, that is Saloni Jadhav and Chitralekha Jadhav.
Thank you, Professor Bhange. Sir, let me call upon Professor Mohan Narayan, Head of the Department of Physics, to present the Master of Science in Physics candidates. Professor Mohan Narayan, please.
I, Professor Mohan Narayan, Head of the Department of Physics, would call the Master of Science in Physics candidates Anju Venkateshwaran, daughter of Venkateshwaran and Uma, Anket Sau Mane, son of Sau and Shalini, Ankita Chandrakant Mane, daughter of Chandrakant and Nilima, Aparna KP, daughter of Parmeshwaran and Sushila Devi, Balagopal S. Marar, son of Shivadasan and Jayashri, Damodar V. Katekar, son of Vinod and Hema, Dilkush Zaroriwala, daughter of Hoshedar and Hutokshi, Kajal Tiwari, daughter of Santosh and Urmila, Christian Lobo, son of Archibald and Susan, Thorat Bhagyashri Shashikant, daughter of Shashikant and Jyoti, Karthik S. Anand, son of Sadanandan and Prabhavati, and in absentia, Nilesh Udmale and Samiksha Uttam Sawant.
Thank you, Professor Mohan. Sir, let me call upon Professor Ajit Kumar, Head of the Department of Mathematics, to present the Master of Science in Engineering Mathematics candidates. Professor Ajit Kumar, please.
I, Professor Ajit Kumar, Head of the Department of Mathematics, would call the Master of Science in Engineering Mathematics candidates. Achala Punase, daughter of Dinesh and Anupama. Ankita Jayatapkar, daughter of Meghnath and Dhanashri. Kanak Manoj Dhotre, son of Manoj and Falguni. Kaustubh Nilesh Limaye, son of Nilesh and Sudha. Mehak Manish Patel, daughter of Manish and Bindu. Mahima Shiv Shankar Yadav, daughter of Shiv Shankar and Bindu. Rutuja Sharad Bhavar, daughter of Sharad and Vaishali. Sonali Narendra Maskar, daughter of Narendra and Sangeeta. Suresh Kumar Jayalwal, son of Gopala and Sharda. The following candidates will receive their degree in absentia: Amaya Borbankar and Prateek Singh.
Thank you, Professor Ajit Kumar. Honorable Chancellor, pursuant to the recommendation of the Academic Council to confer the postgraduate diploma, I present to you 9 candidates who have been examined duly and found qualified for the postgraduate diploma in chemical technology management. I pray that these candidates may be admitted to the respective diploma. On behalf of those who have been permitted to receive their diploma in absentia, I pray that they also be admitted too.
Today, on 10th day of August of 2022, on the occasion of 12th Convocation of the Institute of Chemical Technology, in my capacity as the Chancellor of this institute, I hereby grant the request made by the Dean, Academic Programs, and request the Vice Chancellor to confer upon the candidates the postgraduate diploma in Chemical Technology Management on 9 candidates in person and in absentia.
Thank you, sir. I request the candidates. The PG diploma candidates, I don't see the line there, please. Yeah. Sir, let me call upon Professor Amit Pratap, Program Coordinator, Postgraduate Diploma in Chemical Technology Management, to present the Postgraduate Diploma in Chemical Technology Management candidates. Professor Amit Pratap, please.
I, Professor Amit Pratap, Course Coordinator, Postgraduate Diploma in Chemical Technology Management, would call the Postgraduate Diploma in Chemical Technology Management candidates. Pratisha Nair, she is a gold medalist. Pratisha Nair, daughter of Prakash and Prabha. Pawan Rajkumar Kudale, son of Rajkumar and Suvarna. Isha Attar, daughter of Sikandar and Shamim. Suraj Shyamkumar Kapale, son of Shyamkumar and Seema. Gaike Hanuman Navnath, son of Navnath and Chandrakala. Dipti Vaibhav Lakhe Chawde, daughter of Raghunath and Seema. Sumit S. Joshi, son of Srikant and Shruti. And following candidates will get their degree in absentia: Shivangi Singh Gaur and Hitesh Dilip Raute.
Thank you, Professor Amit Pratap. I request all the doctoral candidates, doctorates of science and technology, to stand and please raise your hands. Honorable Mr. Chancellor, pursuant to the recommendation of the Academic Council to confer the doctorate degrees, I present to you 27 candidates who have been examined duly and found qualified for the doctorate degrees in science and technology. I pray that these candidates may be admitted to the respective degrees. On behalf of those who have been permitted to receive their degrees in absentia, I pray that they also may be admitted thereto.
Today, on the 10th day of August of 2022, on the occasion of 12th Convocation of the Institute of Chemical Technology, in my capacity as the Chancellor of this institute, I hereby grant the request made by Dean Academic Programs and request the Vice Chancellor to confer upon the candidates the doctorate degree on 27 candidates in person and in absentia.
Thank you, sir. Sir, let me call upon Professor V.K. Rathod, Head of the Department of Chemical Engineering, to present the Doctor of Philosophy Technology in Chemical Engineering candidates, please. Professor V.K. Rathod, please.
I, Professor V.K. Rathod, Head of the Department of Chemical Engineering, will call the Doctor of Philosophy Technology in Chemical Engineering candidates. Praveen Digambar Jadhav, son of Digambar and Vanita. Moshmi Chakraborty, daughter of Shamol and Shampa. Prashant Sawashe, son of Bhairanath and Shalan. Ganesh Arjun Gaikwad, son of Arjun and Nanda. Chaitanya Moholkar, son of Dilip and Sadhna. Aarti Hariprasad Mule, daughter of Prasad and Jyoti. Shahid Ansari, son of Jyoddin and Razia. Shujata Srikant Patil, daughter of Srikant and Shakuntala. Joydev Mukherjee, son of Nabendu and Sumita. Srilekha Sawant, daughter of Vijay Singh and Varsha. Thank you.
Thank you, Rathod, sir. Sir, let me call upon Professor S.V. Joshi, Head of the Department of Pharmaceutical Sciences and Technology, to present the Doctor of Philosophy Technology in Pharmaceutical Technology candidates. Professor S.V. Joshi, please.
I, Professor Srirang V. Doshi, Head of Department of Pharmaceutical Sciences and Technology, would call the Doctor of Philosophy Technology in Pharmaceutical Chemistry and Pharmaceutics, Suparna De, daughter of Subrata and Varsha. Ankit Kumar Agarwal, son of Ashok Kumar Vimlabe.
Thank you, sir. Sir, let me call upon Professor R.D. Kale, Head of the Department of Fibers and Textile Processing Technology, to present the Doctor of Philosophy Science in Textile Chemistry candidate. Professor R.D. Kale, please.
I, Professor R.D. Kale, Head of the Department of Fibers and Textile Processing Technology, would call the Doctor of Philosophy Science in Textile Chemistry candidate. Swati Kurgaokar, daughter of Ravindra and Lata.
Then exchange. Thank you, Professor Kale. I think you have second one, right? Yes, sir. Let me call upon Professor R.D. Kale again, Head Department of Fibers and Textile Processing Technology, to present the Doctor of Philosophy Technology in Fibers and Textile Processing Technology candidates. Professor R.D. Kale, please.
I, Professor R.D. Kade, Head Department of Fibers and Textile Processing Technology, would call the Doctor of Philosophy Technology in Fibers and Textile Processing Technology, Sheetal Padaskar, daughter of Subhash and Sunita.
Thank you, Professor Kale. Sir, let me call upon Professor S.T. Maske, Head of the Department of Polymer and Surface Engineering, to present the Doctor of Philosophy Technology in Polymer Engineering and Technology candidate. Professor S.T. Maske, please.
I, Professor S.T. Maske, Head of the Department of Polymer and Surface Engineering, could call the Doctor of Philosophy Technology in Polymer Engineering and Technology candidates. Pratiket Bamne, son of Balkrishna and Babitai. Arjit Gadge, son of Ajay and Amita.
Thank you, sir. Sir, let me call upon Professor V.K. Rathod, Program Coordinator of the Green Technology, to present the Doctor of Philosophy Technology in Green Technology candidates. Professor V.K. Rathod, please.
I, Professor V.K. Rathod, Course Coordinator of the Green Technology, will call the Doctor of Philosophy Technology in Green Technology. Nanda Arora, daughter of Manor Lal and Meena. Bhumika Patil, daughter of Pandurang and Smita. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Rathod. Sir, let me call upon Professor V.R. Gawal, Head Department of General Engineering, to present the Doctor of Philosophy Technology in Mechanical Engineering candidates. Professor V.R. Gawal, please.
I, Professor V.R. Gawal, Head Department of General Engineering, would call the Doctor of Philosophy Technology in Mechanical Engineering. Ravindra Kashiram Garmode, son of Kashiram and Sumangala.
Thank you, Professor Gawal. Sir, let me invite Professor U.S. Annapure, Director, Marathwada and Jalna Campus, on behalf of the Program Coordinator for Doctor of Philosophy, Science in Biotechnology, to present the Doctor of Philosophy, Science in Biotechnology candidates. Professor U.S. Annapure, please.
I, Professor U.S. Annapure, on behalf of the Course Coordinator, Doctor of Philosophy, Science in Biotechnology, would call the Doctor of Philosophy, Science in Biotechnology candidate. Pooja Purushottam More, daughter of Purushottam and Priyanka.
Thank you, sir. Sir, let me call upon Professor B.M. Bhanage, Head Department of Chemistry, to present the Doctor of Philosophy, Science in Chemistry, Inorganic, Organic, Physical candidates. Professor B.M. Banage, please.
I, Professor B.M. Bhange, Head of the Department of Chemistry, would call the Doctor of Philosophy Science in Chemistry, Inorganic, Organic, Physical candidates. Priti Pandey, daughter of Hira and Neelam.
Audience, let your claps please be going on.
Tejas Ukrande, son of Mohan and Mansi. And in absentia, Premchand Bajranga Shelke, Rajkumari Devi, Nazim Ahmad.
Thank you, sir. Sir, let me call upon Professor Mohan Narayan, Head of the Department of Physics, to present the Doctor of Philosophy, Science in Physics candidate. Professor Mohan Narayan, please.
I, Professor Mohan Narayan, Head of the Department of Physics, would call the Doctor of Philosophy, Science in Physics candidates Ashish Ashok Rao Nimbekar, son of Ashok Rao and Usha. Trumuke Ajinkya Mahadev Meena, son of Mahadev and Meena.
Thank you, Professor Mohan. I invite Professor Deshmukh, Registrar, to the podium, please. Thank you, sir.
All those who have received their degrees today shall rise and remain standing till the Honorable Vice Chancellor delivers the exhortation and pledge, and shall be seated only after the Honorable Vice Chancellor takes his seat. Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir, I request your honor to kindly deliver the exhortation.
Ano Bhadra Krutavo Yantu Vishwataha. Let noble thoughts come from all the sides and let us assimilate those. Please take pledge after me, sentence by sentence. I will stop and you can repeat. I take deep pride in my institute, its achievement and its eminence. It will be my endeavor to protect its reputation and legacy. I shall shun prejudice of all kind and perform actions that are deemed righteous morally, ethically, professionally, and legally.
Sir, if you break it up like this, they will be able to repeat.
Too long a sentence, no? I'll repeat. I shall shun prejudice of all kind and perform actions that are deemed righteous morally, ethically, professionally, and legally. I pledge today that I will serve ICT, India, and mankind with utmost sincerity and devotion. Thank you.
I request Honorable Vice Chancellor to address the gathering.
Thank you. Good afternoon. The chief guest of 12th Convocation of ICT and ICT's honorary alumni and long-time well-wisher, Shri Nadir Godrej, Fellow of Indian National Academy of Engineering, Chancellor of ICT Padma Vibhushan, Dr. R.A. Mashilkar, members of the board, distinguished invitees, directors, Padma Vibhushan Professor M.M. Sharma, Padma Bhushan Professor J.B. Joshi, Professor T.K. Venkatesan, ex-Vice Chancellor, Professor G.D. Yadav, directors of both the campuses, Professor Vavia and Professor Annapure, deans, heads of the department, center coordinators, faculty, assistant registrars, support staff, my colleagues and office bearers, my graduating young students and their friends and families, I'm extremely delighted with this opportunity to address you all again on this 12th convocation. For the benefit of the students, as decided earlier, we will have interim convocation every year so that graduating students do not have to wait till February, March the following year for their degrees. Thus, I had hoped to meet you in September 2022, as stated earlier, but sooner the better. We are definitely out of woods as far as COVID-19 pandemic is concerned, and we have started all offline activities, academic lectures, practicals, except for first-year master students who were admitted only a couple of weeks ago. The batch graduating in June 2022 will always be referred as a pandemic batch, where almost 50% of their time was spent by them in quarantine and learning in an online mode. But while standing here, handing over the degrees, I could see that in these 2 years of not interaction, every undergraduate has either grown foot tall or I have shrunk. You can see if I take the assessment today and if I make all the undergraduates stand, the average height is definitely much, much higher than the average height of all master students, which is higher than average height of all the PhD students. So every generation is growing, but not only physically, I'm sure mentally they are growing as well. In spite of all these difficulties, with the help of my colleagues and support staff, and the willingness of the students, special drives were conducted for them to give hands-on experience. Thus, in terms of academic activities, they have been brought on par with any of the ICT graduates. Unfortunately, 2 years of fun-filled college life has been lost, which cannot be replaced. And I'm sure we are behind the pandemic. I can say this based on the kind of responses, meaning complaints and demands, which I receive now from the wardens of the students' hostel based on students' behavior, including the pre-COVID days. We are happy that you have to be chosen to be hear us, sharing our joy and celebrating the achievements of your wards, the families and friends of graduating students, and the institute and their stakeholders on this day. ICT continues to perform academically very well, in spite of trying conditions, with the exemplary commitment shown by the faculty and support staff, supported by understanding and accommodating student community. This is a day to gratefully acknowledge their efforts and contributions in tiding over this crisis through their participation. This 12th convocation is an acknowledgement of the fact that our academic calendar is practically back on track. We are delighted that Shri Nadir Godrej, Chairman, Godrej Group, has agreed to be the chief guest and deliver the keynote address on this 12th convocation and motivate our graduating students. We are looking forward to yet another poetic treat, I trust. In the past 6 months, since the 11th convocation of ICT on March 24th, ICT has vigorously pursued to complete all the academic activities, including infrastructure projects, such as hostel accommodation and repairs. The exam and account section has continued to contribute, ensuring the timely declaration of the results, closing of the annual accounts, etc. The notable achievements of the Institute of the past 6 months worth mentioning will be touched upon by our Chancellor in his address, and I will not dwell much upon them. However, some definitely worth mentioning are: we celebrated our annual day, though virtually, on 24th of February, where Sri Ravi Goenka, President of ICC and Managing Director, Lakshmi Organic Industries, was the chief guest, and UDCT Alumni Association Distinguished Orator. During the function, various teaching support and students were honored with merit awards. Institute of Chemical Technology, Indian Oil Odisha campus has been conferred with an Outstanding Institute Award in April 2022. The rankings, again, Professor Dr. Mashelkar will discuss about that. Professor Padma Bhushan, Professor J.B. Joshi has published more than 100 research papers in a single journal, Chemical Engineering Science, which is a unique achievement. And he is only a second author in the history of this particular journal to complete this century. Our Chancellor, I'm sure, will say more on this. Professor G.D. Yadav has been selected as a National Science Chair by the Science and Engineering Research Board of DST, Government of India, for a period of 3 years. Professor Ananda Kapdi, who did his doctoral studies from University of York, UK, was selected as one of the 3 finalists among the thousands who had applied for India under the Science and Sustainability category for UK Education Alumni Award by British Council. Dr. Prajakta Dandekar, Jain, Department of Pharmaceutical Sciences and Technology, has been selected for the award Savitribai Phule Stree Gaurav Puraskar, instituted by Maharashtra Seva Sangh, Mumbai. Professor N. Sekar has been elected as a Fellow of Textile Association of India in April 2022. The other achievements will be declared and celebrated during the next annual day. Though it is nice to have this convocation in this spectacular location in physical mode, we must have our own similar facility at ICT. I appeal to alumni to contribute and assist generously so that we can finish the incomplete ICT DAE Center, which has a plan to have such a facility. I'm looking for about 100 crores of donation for this cause and appeal to all earnestly, and some of the alumni have already given commitment per floor, which is going to cost about 12 crores, and we want to have 6 such floors. So we need about 72 crores to complete the building, and then we can equip the building based on the requirements and the labs. I must acknowledge at this time and appreciate the assistance of Alkil Amins, and in particular Sri Yogesh Kothari, for his donation of rupees 10 crores to initiate PhD fellowships in the name of Professor M.M. Sharma, and that from Garda Foundations for the sum of 11.5 crores to start a chair professorship of innovation and entrepreneurship, among other donations. The continued assistance of alumni and well-wishers is gratefully acknowledged again at this stage, and I request their continued support for all our endeavors. During my recent visit to USA, I was able to meet and address the alumni twice remotely and one physically. In an interactive interview mode, I was able to explain to the alumni scattered all over USA various initiatives, activities undertaken by ICT, which is for the benefit of students, support staff, including mess workers, and for additional infrastructure. They have shown their commitment, and the first tranche of rupees 25 lakhs from them has already been received. The love and respect seen in the eyes and response of the alumni is something to be proud of, and I'm sure it is going to ensure the long-term sustainability and progress of ICT. The achievements of individual stakeholders of the Institute are listed in the annual report, indicating ICT's spirit to never give up. While lauding the achievements of the Institute and its stakeholders, it's equally important to understand and accept challenges faced by the Institute, as was mentioned in my last address, and I have repeated it again. We plan to create a significantly higher level of infrastructure for which we require a significant amount of funds, and that is what I appeal to. I would like to conclude my address by first congratulating all the students who will be conferred with degrees today, or who have been conferred with degrees today: doctorate, masters of chemical engineering, master of technology, master of pharmacy, master of science, physics, chemistry and mathematics, and bachelor of chemical engineering, chemical technology and pharmacy. Again, to Shri Nadir Godrej for graciously accepting ICT's request to be the chief guest on this 12th convocation. I gratefully acknowledge the contribution of our Chancellor, Padma Vibhushan Dr. R.A. Mashalkar, members of the board and finance committee members for their assistance and guidance from time to time, and that of all my fellow stakeholders of the ICT for this successful gathering in this spectacular occasion on this 12th convocation on the day of 10th of August 2022. Welcome to you all again. Namaskar. Jai Hind. Before I conclude and request our Chancellor to give his convocation address, it is my pleasant duty to introduce today's chief guest, and I'm going to request Chancellor to request the chief guest after his convocation address is over. It's a brief profile of Shri Nadir Godrej, the chairman and managing director of Godrej Industries Limited. He is also chairman of Godrej Agrovat Limited. My association goes since 1996, very long. And all those who have been staying in hostel number 5 and enjoying the cupboards and beds must thank Shri Nadir Godrej for his generous donation. He holds a Master of Science degree in Chemical Engineering from Stanford University, an MBA from Harvard Business School. He has been a director of several Godrej companies since 1977 and has developed the animal feed, agricultural input and chemical business of Godrej Industries and their associate companies. And he has been very active in research and academic and a poet at heart. Mr. Godrej's outside commitments include President of Alliance Francaise de Bombay and CII National Council member. He is also a member of South Asia Research Center Advisory Board of Harvard Business School and is associated with MIT Alumni Association of India and Stanford University. Mr. Godrej is also a member of Schulich India Advisory Council. He has been awarded Chevalier de Légion d'Honneur and Lifetime Achievement Awards from OTAI, Oil Technological Association of India, Chemixel, All India Bulk Importers and Export Association, and also from Chemtech CW Leadership and Excellence Award. He has received Porter Prize in 2013 for creating shared value awarded to Godrej Industries Limited. He was elected to a fellowship of Indian National Academy of Engineering in 2019. Mr. Godrej is deeply committed to good and green strategies and achievement of set targets for Godrej Group. He encourages and supports a shared vision value for all programs of good and green. I will request Honorable Chief Guest to give his convocation address after our Chancellor gives his convocation address. With this brief introduction, may I now request our Chancellor Padma Vibhushan, Dr. R.A. Mashelkar, to give his 12th convocation address. Thank you.
Our Honorable Chief Guest, a very, very dear friend, and a person that I admire immensely, our Chief Guest, Nadir Godrej, our Honorable Vice Chancellor Anirudh Pandit, Honorable members of the Board of Governors, distinguished deans, heads of departments, distinguished faculty, and most importantly, the graduates of the day, all of you. This day belongs to you, this evening belongs to you. Equally, your proud parents, ladies and gentlemen. Want to extend a very warm welcome to you all. We had a spectacular convocation ceremony. Do you realize it is always very important for institutions to be ahead of time? I was supposed to start my speech at 6 o'clock. I'm starting my speech at 5 o'clock. We are 1 hour ahead of time. I think that is the tradition we have to keep. Individually, you should be ahead of the curve, ahead of the time. Institutionally, we should be ahead of all other institutions, not only within India, but globally. That should be our aspiration. And this is the message. Secondly, I'm delighted that we are having a sort of a physical convocation. You know, I was tired of the new norm. It's good to get back to the old norm. I could see warm handshakes, affectionate hugs. That is the old normal. And I'm very happy that the world is coming back to that old normal. And that includes our great institute, of course. 2020 was the year of the pandemic, yes. Humanity had its greatest challenge, the kind of devastation that we had, loss of lives, livelihoods. But you know, there is a human spirit, and we rose to it, right? I would say 2020 was not just the year of the pandemic, it was the year of Indian science. When the pandemic came, we had nothing. We had no diagnostics, we don't know what the virus was doing, we did not have therapeutics, didn't have vaccines, nothing. And Indian science rose and delivered. I feel extremely proud of India, Indian science. And the way we rose. We could not have been talking about 200 crore doses of vaccine if something like Covaxin, which was our own vaccine, was not delivered, if Serum Institute had not created its own vaccine, and so on and so forth. I think this is a year where we have shown to the rest of the world, despite adversity, how can we create an opportunity. It is time also to welcome our chief guest, some personal words about him. You know, if you look at his CV, you will see IIT Bombay, you will see MIT, you will see Stanford, you will see Harvard. These are like dream institutions, isn't it? So tremendous pedigree. But he's more than that, more than those institutions. One of the finest human beings I have met in my life. You know, I always talk to you about 3 qualities: innovation, compassion, and passion. He has these in abundance. He should be an icon for sort of all of you. when we look at, I was just, Monash University, every year I go as Sir Louis Matheson Distinguished Professor, spend a month there. Last 2 years I had not gone, this year I went. And among the 3 lectures, public lectures that I gave, the last lecture, the first was of course post-pandemic, new dynamics of technology and so on and so forth. The last lecture was about next-gen engineers. And within that I had described what they should be. They should be whole brain engineers, left as well as right brain. They should be holistic engineers. They should be empathetic engineers because engineer without empathy is no engineer, and so on and so forth. Nadir fits the purpose perfectly. He's a perfect engineer, both left brain and right brain. Just now our Vice Chancellor mentioned about his poetry, and you will hear some, I'm quite sure, the way, because engineers will have to develop both these left brain and right brain skills. So I'm very grateful to you, Nadir, as I call him by his first name, for doing us the honor today, because it is icons like you who set examples for these young people who will be entering the new world. The other thing, as a proud Chancellor, I stand here and see our performance. As our Guruji, Professor M.M. Sharma, is walking, let us give him a thunderous applause. Just stand up. Yes, that's it. Guruji, I was just talking about the fact that I was supposed to start my speech as a Chancellor at 6 o'clock. We started it at 5 o'clock. So we are ahead of time. And your timing of entry was also just perfect, when I was just going to say something about you. So if you look at the accomplishments of this institution during the last year or the COVID years, as our Vice Chancellor mentioned, they have been terrific. Of course, we have been having these, the NRF ratings and the rest of it, etc. We are doing very well, not only as a university, as a state university, in engineering, in pharmacy, we have been always on the top 5, etc., etc. So there is no issue, we can only go up. There is no question about that, and that's what we are doing. But the individual accolades, it's very interesting that Guru Shishya Parampara, I have been Professor Sharma's student. Professor Sharma's student was Professor J.B. Joshi, about whom you just now heard. 100 papers in chemical engineering science, and only the second person in the history to do it is absolutely incredible. And that's what he has been able to accomplish. We feel extremely proud. And then Professor J.B. Joshi's student is our Vice Chancellor, Anil Pandit. And look at his own accomplishment. For example, there was this Google Scholar Microsoft sort of a survey of something like 18,000 scientists. And when it came to engineering and technology, the ranking was done. And you know who was number 1? Our Vice Chancellor. Isn't that a matter of great pride? And number 2 was Parag. Again, big round of applause. So I think we are scaling great heights. Not only that, our Vice Chancellor won this Eminent Engineer Award from Engineering Council, which is also a high honor. Okay, so that's terrific. And then, of course, Dr. G.D. Yadav, National Science Chair, again, a very, very high honor indeed. So I think what I'm trying to say is that this entire tree, Professor Sharma always talks about not children, but grandchildren, in terms of, if you look at the academic tree, and each one of them is excelling. As a Chancellor, I feel very happy, because all the 3, J.B. Joshi, then followed by Dr. Yadav and him, have been appointed during the time I was holding the Chancellorship. So there is nothing better than for someone like me to see that, look at the leader, and as Professor Sharma always say, they have to do better than what you did, and they are actually sort of doing that, and that's sort of an incredible feeling. So I want all of us to feel very happy about it. 2 points I would like to make. The one point he mentioned about innovation and entrepreneurship being very important. I'm particularly grateful to Dr. Ghada for donating 11.5 crores to create this particular chair. And this is going to be the new mantras, not just seeking jobs, but creating jobs. The startup world, India is becoming sort of a startup community, and we have started our own incubators, and we are going to give you the kind of full support that you can sort of flower in these incubators and create startups that will sort of do us proud. India has emerged in a very interesting way, by the way. You know, there is a term called unicorn. Unicorn is $1 billion market cap, okay? Until 2015-16, we were having one unicorn every year. Do you know what happened in 2021? We had one unicorn, not in 1 year, every week. We had, to be precise, I'm exaggerating, to be precise, we had 42, not 52, which is almost 1 week. From 1 year to 1 week. That is the emerging India, and that's you. These are all young people, by the way, okay? What is even more important is that I did an analysis. We have some 120 unicorns now, and they are growing. Maybe as I'm speaking, one unicorn might have been added. But what is most interesting is when there were 55 unicorns, I did an analysis. How many of them came from, let's say, IITs and IIMs and the so-called elite institutions? And how many of them came from other institutions? You'll be happy to know 50% of them, 1 out of 2, came from Tier 3 cities. They came from Tier 2 cities. Many of them were dropouts. This is democratization of wealth creation. Tier 3 cities means we are talking about Sangli, Satara, Karad, Khed. Would you have ever imagined a 26, 27, 28-year-old or young boy or a girl having $1 billion market cap? That is the new opportunity as we move in the digital India that is being provided for us. And therefore, I come down very quickly to the end, and these are mantras that I repeat in every convocation. And because every convocation, the outgoing graduates are different, and there will be a few common people who will hear the same mantras, but good things have to be repeated, so no issue about that. I will tell you about my 5 mantras. On 1st January, I'll be celebrating my 80 years. So in the 80-year journey, I have learned something by not only succeeding, but failing sometimes. And failure tells you even sort of more. So I will just summarize these 5 for this new batch that is going out. I think the first is aspirations are your possibilities. Keep them high. If you aim at Everest, you will reach at least Kanchenjunga. But if you aim at Kanchenjunga itself, you will be where you are. So keep them high. And I'm finding that. Among the young people now, I'm finding that. You know, I was talking to some young students, and I was telling them about how well our, I'm very proud of our education system. Having studied here, it's a fantastic system with institutions like ours and gurus like Professor Sharma and others, etc., etc. I consider myself very lucky. So I am a traveling salesman for India, and I sell India everywhere, and I was talking about education. And I said, look at Satya Nadella. He became the CEO of Microsoft. Sundar Pichai, he became CEO of Google. You should be also like that. And I remember one young girl got up, by the way. Nowadays, girls get up and talk, by the way. That's very important. I think boys should take notice of that. So she said, sir, I don't think you got it right. I say, why? I thought I said something nice. She said, no, sir. In your generation, your only aspiration was to go to US somehow. Next generation, go to US, also get a good job, say in Microsoft. The next generation, go to US, get a job in Microsoft, but also become Satya Nadella, CEO. Not our generation. We want to create our own Microsoft, our own Google here in India. You get it? So that's the aspiration you should have. But that aspiration must be backed up by my mantra number 2, Mashelkar mantra. And what is that? Like instant coffee, there is no instant success. There is no substitute to hard work. All right? I'm turning 80, but I have worked 24/7, day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year, and I will do so until the last day of my life. Work hard in silence. Work hard in silence, let success make all the noise. That is the second mantra. What is the third mantra? Purpose, perseverance, and passion matters. You must have a big purpose, not only for yourself, for our society, for our nation, but you must have perseverance. Winners are never quitters. Quitters are never winners. You are bound to fail as you go along. Nobody has succeeded without failing. I have failed myself. But look at fail as FAIL, first attempt in learning. You understand? Your best guru is your last mistake, as long as you don't repeat it. That's also very important. All right? Remember that. The next one is that you will keep on knocking on the doors, and the doors don't open. Then you get frustrated. Don't worry. Create your own doors. Now you will say, can you explain? I will explain. And my Guruji is here, so his mind will also go back. You know, I remember I came back to National Chemical Laboratory in 1976. India was a poor country. Today we talk about $2,000 GDP per capita. It was not even $100. And I was trained in geology and non-Newtonian fluid mechanics. And I wanted a Weisenberg-Rheogoniometer, model R18. It would take 2 years. Why? DGD clearance, not manufactured in India, etc. So I would have been frustrated in my hands, wait for 2 years. I didn't do that. I opened a new door. I said, what is the equipment God has given me? This. What can I do with it? And I went into mathematical modeling and simulation. Started the work in 1977. And for that, in 82, in 5 years, I got SS Bhatnagar Prize, which is the highest science prize for under 45. What is the sense I'm trying to give you? When some doors don't open, don't bother. You create your own pathways, you create your own. The last one is that there is no limit to human imagination, there is no limit to human achievement, accepting the limits that you put on yourself. All right? So this is what, as Professor Sena Rao, my guru, and Professor Sharma and me, for both of us, he is a great guru. He is a Bharat Ratna, as all of you know. Anytime I got anything, which was like Fellowship of Royal Society and so on and so forth, etc. Just to explain to you the importance of Fellowship of Royal Society, it is one which is considered one of the highest prize after Nobel Prize. And in engineering science, there are only 2 living engineering scientists, by the way, at the moment. In 360 years, we have got this honor. 2 of them are here, Professor Sharma and myself. And we are very proud that we are UDCT alumni, we are ICT alumni, by the way. It is that is the legacy that you have. And each time I would phone him up about something that I got, he would say, not bad. I used to get disappointed, and one day I asked him, sir, what do I have to do to impress you? And the mantra that he gave me, I'm leaving behind for you. He said, he calls me Ramesh. He said, Ramesh, you are climbing on a ladder of excellence, which is limitless. The only limit is what you put on yourself. Okay? What does it mean for all of you? It means no matter what you achieve in life, you have to say, my best is yet to come. Like what we call as a divine discontent, so as to say. You have to develop that. Atma santushta honaka. That is the actual message. So what is the mantra then? You may be in your 20s now. You'll get into 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. So whether you are 18 or whether you are 80, every day in the morning, you have to get up and say, my best is yet to come, and maybe today is the day it will come. And keep on saying that till the last day. Can you just imagine the kind of India that will be? And I'm putting, as a chancellor, this is sort of responsibility on you, because we are celebrating India at 75. When India at 100 will be celebrated, I wouldn't be there. Many of us wouldn't be there. You will be there. But most importantly, you will be building that India at 100. And can you just imagine the kind of India at 100 that we'll build? If every day in the morning, you get up and say, my best is yet to come, maybe today is the day. So start from tomorrow morning. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
May I request our Honorable Chief Guest to deliver us his address.
My dear friends, Dr. Mashelkar, Honorable Chancellor, my dear friend, Dr. Pandit, Honorable Vice Chancellor, thank you very much for your kind words and your very inspirational speeches. Professor Sharma, all the deans, professors, administrators, guests, and of course, our dear graduates. The entire chemical industry owes so much to UDCT, from its inception in 1933 and now as autonomous ICT. It has spread its wings far and wide, taken new campuses in its stride, spawned startups and giant corporations spread across many nations. And as for the Godrej Group, it's always been in the loop. And when it was UDCT, my father would then oversee doctoral students diligently. Much has been done in his memory. An oils and fats laboratory, a chair in green chemistry and sustainability engineering. We are proud to be pioneering. We saw this as a collaboration for both the group and the nation. My thanks to all at ICT and Professor Sharma and Yadav particularly. I'm sure many of you would know dear Dr. Pandit helped us grow. From collaboration, benefits flow. And Professor Lali was able to show how rapeseed could be detoxified. This process is now true and tried. Dr. Mashelkar is a great support. His advice is always sought. Your graduates help us succeed. They have the very skills we need. Their contribution we clearly see in both production and R&D. They also know how to lead. With their help, we succeed. There are problems in the world, and each year, more are unfurled. Now, climate change has been there. The pandemic then brought its share. And since the Russia-Ukraine war, the world has had then to endure an unexpected commodity boom. All these dangers constantly loom. Some countries succumb to all this flack, but India's on a better track. The last 2 years we could survive, but now it seems that we can thrive. While some may see doom and gloom, for chemicals, it is a boom. Earlier, China's costs were low. Supplies from there did help us grow. Their pollution laws were very lax. Their governments now on their backs. Their costs then rose, some had to shift, and this could give us all a lift. Their competition is now less, and though we could be in a mess if intermediates rise in price, our industry now finds it nice that we can backward integrate, and I can confidently state, with just a little R&D, there is much light that we can see. Sometimes a slightly higher cost, but nothing much is really lost, because reliability is what we gain from a more secure internal chain. Now Atmanirbhar is the call, so never again will we stall just because supplies are late. Backward integration's great. Now Chinese lockdowns perpetuate. For businesses, this isn't great. For India, there's an opportunity. A chemical boom is what we see. We can't tell if it will last for long, but right now, nothing's going wrong. For all of you, there's opportunity in the chemical industry, and biotechnology is on the rise, so tracking this would be wise. It is no longer climate change within a tolerable range. A crisis is what it's about, with fires, floods, as well as drought. Every week a constant blast, far worse than seen in the past. If we must, we will adapt. Prevention, though, would be more apt. There is a cost to adaptation. It's rising fast in every nation, as well as for the world at large. This will be a heavy charge. In fact, we should all conclude prevention, though, would be shrewd. It actually would cost much less and avoid a lot of stress. Our industry should play a role in the carbon neutral goal. GHG emissions should be reduced. More green energy should be produced. With fossil fuels, what we can see is flexibility in a high degree, as ramping up is very quick. But when green energy is what we pick, no matter how hard we try, we can't control our supply. We can't commence or interdict. At best, we can try and predict. Solar and wind are both this way. But if we can bring into play as fuels solid biomass or biofuel and biogas, we certainly would then see more flexible green energy. And nuclear energy can play a role in the carbon neutral goal. Now, biomass cogeneration makes sense for a continuous operation. In palm oil mills, we use our own, but biomass that's specially grown or byproduct biomass, such as shell powder or bagasse, can now be sourced quite easily. A low-cost source for every industry. And bamboo is another way. Growing more can save the day. While petrol and diesel are highly taxed, the coal cess is much more relaxed. One would think it would be nice if it tracked a proper carbon price. This does serve to incentivize green fuels, but wouldn't be also wise to incentivize feedstocks that are green? Greener technology will then be seen. Let fuels and feedstocks both be clean. No longer gray, but blue or green. Whether liquid, solid, methane, or H2, let's switch from gray to green or blue. Fossil fuels have had their day. It will take time to phase them away. But before we go completely green, there is some hope that can be seen. The mines, the fields from which we source can also be a rich resource. Now CO2 can take us far when it's used for EOR, enhanced oil recovery. But when you use even more, some more oil's pushed out for sure, though not enough to make it pay. A carbon price would pave the way, and technology would save the day. Clean hydrogen is what we need if we are to really succeed. Many technologies can be seen. Some are blue, some very green. From coal or gas with sequestration, for fossil fuel reforming, a reformation. Electrolysis using green energy. Another option that we see is reforming of solid biomass, or why not even biogas. This hydrogen would be green, but if sequestration's also seen, that would be quite another hue, a combination of green and blue, the coolest color, which I feel we could then call cyan or teal. There's scope for both green and blue as long as it's a cleaner hue. But in order to properly reap the benefits, it should be cheap. Good solutions should be in place, as they could prove to be our ace. Green chemistry has always been there, but all the same, it's only fair to state that now it's to the fore, and the emphasis is that much more. The cause by now would have been lost had we always incurred a cost. While planet saving led the way, now we know that it can pay. Harmful waste is very bad, but any waste is very sad. For after all, waste is lost, and so indeed, unneeded cost. For saving waste, it's always nice to have our reactions quite precise. Of course, green chemistry is clean, but it also pays because it's lean. Much progress we now clearly see with nano and biotechnology. Crop yields are all on the rise, and so it's not a big surprise. Natural feedstocks are catching on. The fossil way may soon be gone. Of course, every chemist knows of oil and starch and cellulose. We've used sucrose and ethanol and started using glycerol. But now that in the recent days we'd made progress with cellulase, cheap, simple sugars can lead the way, the dawning of a glorious day. And soon we'll make a giant leap. As green energy gets very cheap, we can go where it's stranded or where power can't be landed. Iceland, the Sahara come to mind. Other distant places we could find and could make methanol from CO2 and formic or oxalic acid too. Professor Yadav's trying hard. Catalysts are his trump card. Many benefits can be seen. Fossil fuels could be made green. There are many paths that we can see for achieving carbon neutrality, but the cheapest way is certainly through energy efficiency. Real interest rates are rather low, and high returns quickly flow from any energy-saving device. For business, this is very nice. Not only are returns quite brisk, there's also very little risk. In India, mandated CSR can help us go very far. Multiple benefits are what one sees with water projects or growing trees. Good livelihoods are created. Our carbon emissions are abated. Trees planted at a river source maintain the flow throughout its course. So many benefits we can see. The preservation of biodiversity, different species can be tried. Useful products can be supplied, like biomass or edible fruits, and yet the trunk and the roots can sequester carbon, clean the air, a win-win that is very fair. So while we decarbonize, why not also monetize? So never fall for either or. Our hearts and minds demand much more. Neutrality can come with ease, though some may think I'm a tease. The environment isn't all. On society, let's take a call. Throughout the chain, let's keep in sight every person's human right. It's business as usual, not bravery, to end child labor and slavery. And in all businesses, we should see the broadest reach of diversity. Not only is it fair and right, it would give us the best insight. Since life is full of hard knocks, we need to think out of the box. Diversity is the perfect aid when we are required to wade through troubled waters or quagmires. Unusual thought is what inspires. Ingeniously, we can plan it, serve profit, people, and planet. Sustainability is not a pain, for after all, it is a gain. It helps us all to survive, last long as well as to thrive. It's a license to operate. The ecosystem finds its grade. Society, governments, banks cooperate, convey their thanks. Together, with both heart and brain, sustainably, let's sustain. The world is changing very fast, and nothing now seems like the past. So to survive in this rat race, new skills at a rapid pace must constantly be acquired to ensure that you're not fired. And what those future skills will be is difficult to foresee. And so you'll need agility, broader learning, and flexibility. Not just knowledge, but its application in an actual, real-life situation. Quite rarely alone, mostly in teams, and team dynamics, it seems, will be important for success. Thus, specific knowledge might be less important than interacting well and knowing enough to tell what would be well worth a try. Experiment and adapt on the fly. And even though you're busy earning, make sure you're always learning. Have lots of fun, but never shirk. And always try to enjoy your work. Indeed, if work becomes your passion, that's fine. Or else try and fashion something else that is exciting. And carefully we should tread, but happiness should be spread. Happiness requires good health, but not success or much wealth. All studies showed that in the end, the more people that you befriend, the happier you yourself will be. One sees this very clearly. What goes around comes around is good advice that's very sound. And once you clearly understand our purpose is giving a helping hand, much happiness will come your way as sure as night follows day. Indeed, it could be the case there will be problems that we face, but if our values are very strong and we refuse to do what's wrong and try and lend a helping hand and make an effort to understand all people with a different view, your thought processes will renew. Then brilliant ideas will surely flow and lead you where you need to go. Indeed, if you now see the light, your future will be very bright. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I request Honorable Chancellor to present a memento to the Chief Guest. I invite the Registrar to request the Honorable Chancellor to close the convocation.
Honorable Chancellor, I request Your Honor to kindly declare the convocation closed.
I declare the convocation closed.
I now invite President UDCT Alumni Association, Shri Sanjay Mahendale, to address the graduates.
Honorable Chief Guest, Mr. Godrej, Honorable Chancellor and Vice Chancellors, dignitaries on the dais as well as off the dais, and the students. Students, today you have received various degrees, and after receiving these degrees, your title has changed. Now you are no more a students of the institute, but an alumnus of the institute. So, as a president of Alumnus Association, I welcome you all to Alumni Faculty, Fraternity, and most of you are already the members of Alumni Association. But who are not the members of the Alumni Association, I request you all to become the member of the Alumni Associations. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We shall now conclude the convocation ceremony on a note of peace and spirituality. I request Shri Parth Vaidya to please recite the Pasaidan, and I request the assembly to please be seated.
विश्वात्मके देवे येणे वाग्यज्ञे तोषावे तोषो निमज द्यावे पसाय दान हे जे खळांची व्यंकटी सांडो तया सत्कर्मी रति वाढो भूतां परस्परे पडो मैत्र जीवाचे दुरितांचे तिमिर जाओ विश्वस्वधर्म सूर्ये जो जे वांछिल तो ते लाहो प्राणी जात वर्षत सकळ मंगळी ईश्वर निष्ठांची मांदियाळी अनवरत भूमंडळी भेट तू चला कल्पतरूंचे आरव चेतना चिंतामणीचे गाव बोलते जे अर्णव पियुषाचे चंद्रमे जे अलांछन मार्तंड जे तापहीन ते सर्वाही सदा सज्जन सोय रे हो तू किंबहुना सर्व सुखी पूर्ण होऊनी तिन्ही लोकी भजिजो आदि पुरुखी अखंडित आणि ग्रंथोपजीविये विशेषी लोकीये दृष्टादृष्ट विजये होवावे जी येथ म्हणे श्री विश्वेश्वरा हो हा होईल दान पसावो येणे वरे ज्ञान देव सुखिया झाला.
Thank you, Parth. We shall now recite the national song led by Shri Parth Vaidya, Shri Uddhav Gokarna and Kumari Shrishti Singh.
कुसुमिता ध्रुमदल शोभिनी सुहासिनी सुमधुर भाषिणी सुखदां वरदां
Thank you Music Club and the entire Technological Association team, ICT Mumbai. As the Honorable Chancellor has declared the convocation closed, may I request the procession to please depart from the convocation hall. I further request the assembly to please be standing till the procession leaves the hall. Thank you.